everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Kat, and for today's video we're going to be doing something that I actually found on another YouTuber's channel first. So this is not my idea, this is Michelle's Everyday Glamour idea. She came up with it and I thought it was such a cool idea, and so I really wanted to kind of try it out on my channel for a couple reasons. Essentially it's doing a week of just one company's eyeshadow palettes. I thought that was a really fun idea because in 2021, I'm wanting to really work on my makeup skills and especially my eyeshadow skills and everything else, and doing a full week where like every day I'm posting a different eye look is a really great way for me to just really try and work on my makeup skills. And then on top of that, that gives me a chance to just really dive deep into any particular makeup company that I'm focusing on for that week. For you guys, it also gives you a chance to kind of see a little bit more of my makeup collection. I am going to be doing later on, probably late spring, I'm going to be doing just a video where I show you guys my entire makeup collection, but I thought this would be kind of like a fun prelude to that. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm not going to do it every week. I think that would be a little bit too much just from like the editing perspective and the filming and just the time that it would take. And so I think for right now, my plan is going to be like once a month roughly, that I'll pick a particular brand where I know that I have 7 palettes that I can dedicate to it, and I'll just focus on those. And so for this week, we're going to be taking a look at just Pat McGrath because oh man, I have a lot of palettes from Pat McGrath, and 2 of the newest ones that I got are actually from my mother and my dad from Christmas, and so I was super duper excited to get that. Otherwise, this video might not even have been possible. So for today, as day 1, we're going to be focusing on their newest palette. This was one of the holiday release palettes that they had, and this is the Mothership Mega Celestial Divinity eyeshadow palette. And this is what this mamma jamma looks like on the inside here. Lots of metallic shimmer shades and then 3 matte shades, and so I figure we would swatch all of it real quick just so I can see what the different metallics look like, if there's any duochromy shifts to any of them, and just really kind of test it out. And then for the rest of the week we have a myriad of the big guys, and then we also have 3 of the little quads. I figure we'll primarily focus on the bigger ones, and then I think as the last day I'll just incorporate all 3 of the quads together as one. Otherwise I would just have too many and we would be here for like 2 weeks straight. So I think that's how we're gonna do it. So for today we are gonna focus on the Celestial Divinity. So let's go ahead and just immediately jump right in. I'm gonna do some swatcheroonies for you guys, and as per usual, because I never really think things through, I was wearing long sleeves, and then as I was getting my camera set up, I was like, how are you gonna do swatches when you're wearing long sleeves? So preemptively rolled them up. So here we go. This is gonna be the first row. We've got this beautiful red shade, and then kind of a peachy gold, and then a more gold, and then definitely a duochromy purple kind of shade. These are definitely all ones that I would not view as toppers. They're very pigmented, and so I think they would work really well just as standalone shades. Here we go, on to the next 4. First up we've got a very deep gold shade, and then what is that, like a rose gold? And then a purple magenta-y kind of shade. It's got a little bit of some goldish on the end there, it seems like. And then this guy is kind of a greenish coppery gold. So a little bit of an olive kind of tone to it. We're gonna jump over to this arm for the rest of this. All right, first up, kind of an orangey copper. This guy's, I would say, kind of pinkish orange. And then that guy is a lighter yellow gold. And this guy is again kind of similar to this other one. Let me lay them on top of each other. So they're both kind of deeper blackish purple shades. I think the primary difference being that this one has more of purple shimmer, and then this guy is more of just kind of a little bit of a gold greenish tint. So it looks like a very deep olive to black kind of shift on there. I also always feel like I look weird when I've pre-done my face and put on like lip product and everything, which BT dubs, since we're doing Pat McGrath, this is a Pat McGrath lip product. This is in the shade Glowing Garnet, and it's one of the Opulust glosses. So that's what's on my lips. I know I normally don't go for darker shades, but you know, here we are. And let's go ahead and do the last 3 metallic shades, and then we'll figure out what look we're gonna throw on my face. Oh, it definitely kind of looks a little duochrome-y. It's got like some bluish, pinkish shift on there. And then we've got another goldish rose gold shade. And another kind of coppery orangish red. So this is all of the metallic shades. I never know how to do this, and so I always feel like I look a little ridiculous as I'm like trying to show you guys all of them. But this is all of the metallic shades that we're going to be working with. And I think, let me swatch for you guys the 3 matte shades real quick, just so we know what those are going to be looking like. So this is the deepest, and the medium, and then the light. So those are the 3 matte shades that we're going to be working with. They're all kind of mauvey to brown to purplish kind of shades. And so I think that's the only critique that I have with this palette, is that there are not a lot of matte shades. So if you're going to be using the majority of the metallic shades, you would need another palette to assist, or like, I guess maybe go with just one of the mattes underneath and then throw on a ton of the metallics, which actually I think I might do. I think I might go with this deepish brown shade on the lid, just really be smoky, and then perhaps use maybe this guy as like the inner metallic for the inner side of my eye, and then the middle, I don't know. We'll figure out the metallics in a minute. But for right now, let's just go ahead and jump into that matte shade and see how we go. Ready dog for on the brush. That's what happens. I've got one dog right in front of me because Rogue is just hanging out, and then Falco is back there. They're just listening in. Probably not listening, they're just sleeping. That's what they do. I do already have eyeshadow primer on my face, so happy to say I didn't forget about that this time. I thought ahead. And to start off with, I'm really just kind of coating the entire lid with this shade, and then we'll add the metallics on top. I don't know why I always kind of in my mind think that you can't directly apply metallics to your face. You have to do a matte shade first, as if like the metallics need that first layer of powder to adhere to. Otherwise it's not going to look right, or it's not going to stay. I don't know if that's actually accurate or not, but that is the never-ending thought process that goes on in my brain as I'm doing this. I'm not a huge fan of this brush. It's kind of sticking a little bit, and so it's not like, look at how this is like super patchy, but I feel like that's a combination of maybe that I didn't let the eyeshadow primer dry fast enough, and then also that this brush is not the best of the brushes. Like, look at how ridiculous. This is where we get to find out that I have 0 makeup skills. Anybody else have like that one of your eyes is just always a disaster and the other one seems to come out nice? Because for me, that is 100% that my left eye just hates me. Like, never ever wants to have the eye looks turn out nice, whereas my right eye is like all about it. I don't know if that's maybe because I'm right-handed, and so like my right eye is like, I'm one of the team, and then my left eye is just like, well, you're not left-handed, you don't do anything with the left side of your body that makes us stand out, so we're gonna hate you for forever. That's what I feel like happens. Well, at least it was slightly easy to clean up, so that's at least a good thing. All right, we're gonna move into these metallic shades. So what I'm going to use is, on the inner corner, I'm gonna use this kind of goldish, light gold shade. For the center of the eye, I'm going to use this one right here, which is a little bit of a deeper copper, and then the outer corner is going to be this super dark copper shade. And then for the under eye, we will figure that out once we see what the top ends up looking like. So I'm going to start with the middle of my lid and apply that first. That metallic is applying far better than the matte shade did. And that is something that is kind of interesting that I think we'll see as we get into the tin pan palettes throughout the week, that especially like when I was first starting out with applying makeup, I struggled very heavily with trying to figure out how to use some of the shades that Pat McGrath has in her palettes. And it's not that the shades were bad by any means, it's that I think you do have to sometimes use different techniques that as I was starting out, I didn't really think of or know were available techniques to get them to really show up and stand out. And so I think that was something that I struggled with initially, that as I have gotten a little bit better at knowing how to apply makeup, which this is already an improvement, guys, on where we started at like a year ago. But I think as I've gotten better at knowing how to apply it, the looks have turned out much, much better. Let me know if anyone else kind of had that same issue, if you guys were first trying out some of the shades and you felt like they were a little bit difficult or not. And if there's any tricks that you guys use that we can all kind of share together throughout this week. So I think that would be kind of a fun discussion to have. So now I'm gonna move into the inner corner. And for that, we're gonna go into this guy right here, this kind of lighter gold shade. I'm liking how this is slowly progressing. I don't like that I chose to put that deeper matte shade on first. I think that was mistake numero uno. But as I am covering it up with this metallic shade, I think it is starting to look better. I'm definitely attempting at this point to just completely cover the brown with the metallic shades so that I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I think that's just looking much, much nicer that way. And then for the outer corner, we're gonna go into this super deep copper kind of mustardy brown shade. And we're just gonna smoke that out a little bit. Had a little more red in it than I was expecting. That is interesting. That is not at all how it's swatched, nor how it looks in the pan. Interesting. We're all on a journey together here today. I think that's looking a little bit better. I'm gonna grab my sponge real quick and clean up the corners, because that's the problem with applying makeup beforehand, is that I get very messy as I am applying things, and then I always have to clean it up. Okay, and now to move on to the under eye. What do we want to do for the under eye? We could either stick with that same set of tones, or we could go real crazy. I'm kind of wondering if I should maybe go into that olivey green kind of metallic shade and maybe use that, since we know I love the combination of golds and olivey orange grungy shades. Let's see how this looks. Watch me just F it all up with this. It's not terrible. I think I do want to add to the center of my eye just a little bit more of a lighter highlight. And so the two shades, so this was the kind of copper green that I went with, and then this is what I'm dipping into now to just really add a little bit more light to the inner corner. Really brighten that up a little bit more. I think that looks good. And let me throw on mascara and whatnot real quick, and then we'll come back and I'll just see what everybody thinks, and we will take a gander at some of the other palettes real quick and try and figure out what we might want to jump into tomorrow. So I will be right back. Okay, and we're back, and I did also tightline my waterline, and for that I was using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil, and this one was in the shade Mildew, so that's fun. But I think it turned out okay. I'm not too disappointed with it. I think that the outer corner was a little bit darker than what I was expecting and a little bit more of a reddish brown rather than just an outright brown, which is what I was expecting. I also did not like that I put that darker transition shade on underneath. I think that kind of started things off on a bad foot, and so for the future I probably won't do that. But overall, I think the metallics are really, really nice, but I mean, I never have complaints on Pat McGrath metallics, so I think it looks real nice. But let's have a quick look. So the quads that I have two of the holiday quads and then also one of the holiday quads, I think from last year. We have this guy that has those 4 shimmers, and then we also have the pinkish holiday one and the bluish holiday one. So that's those 3. So I think that'll be on one day that I'll just attempt to combine all of those somehow. And then for the 5 other quads that we have, let's see here. This is the Divine Rose. This was the Divine Rose 1. And so you can see very much a neutral palette. It does have a couple interesting shades that are over on this side over here. This guy is a bit of a multi-chrome type guy with a shift. It's kind of got a pinkish to goldish, and then this guy is also very much an iridescent shade. So that's going to be kind of fun to test those out. And then I do also have the Divine Rose 2, which is this guy. And so you can see a little bit deeper shades, also has a hot pink right here, very much a multi-chrome shade right there, and then those are more of goldish shades rather than an iridescent one. And so, and then like on this half, wow, I can really see the green from this angle on here. These are also a bit deeper of the kind of mauvey shades as well, and so it'll be kind of interesting to see how both of those 2 play out and the differences that they have. Then I also have is this the Mothership 1? Is this the original? No. This guy, I think this is the Mothership 2, maybe, don't quote me. I'm pretty sure it's the Mothership 2, but it has that greenish shade that was very popular. I love that shade. And it does also have a bit of a purplish to black shift, so it's a super fun one to wear. A lot of the other shades, the gold shade up top there, this iridescent shade, those are really fun. And then the neutral shades over here are more brown to deeper kind of bark shades. So I think those are really fun. And then we also have the Mothership 5, which is your Bronze Seduction, I believe is the name of this one. It doesn't say. That's super fun. But this one has more of your reddish coppery tones. This is definitely a deeper red. You have a couple iridescent shades over on the far side, and then these are a bit more goldish toned neutral shades on there as well, so that's a fun one. And then the last one, this one I'm super excited about, especially given my recent affinity for blue shades. We have this guy. Look at this. This guy right here is just, I'm so excited to test this guy out. But then we also have a lot more grayish tones on this side of the palette, and then you have a gold shade there. This one is kind of a goldish pink shift to it, and then a bluish iridescent shade on the bottom there. So this one, much more of a cool toned palette, but I'm very, very excited to try that one as well. So we're gonna kind of be doing palette roulette throughout the week to see what else I'm gonna be using, but this was day 1. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know if you like this this idea for just kind of a series that I'll do on my channel once a month of taking a look. Some of the other companies that I was thinking about looking at were going to be BH Cosmetics, Copacetic Cosmetics, Natasha Denona, Kaleidos. I have a bunch of different companies where I have enough palettes to make this work, and so If there are any of those companies just right off the top that are jumping out to you guys that you would want to see in the next week's series, let me know. I would be more than happy to showcase ones that you guys prefer seeing first. But yeah, I'm really excited to be doing this and just kind of getting to try out like as many of my palettes as possible, because I think sometimes I kind of just get lost in trying something out once and then pushing it aside for the next new thing. And so I absolutely loved this idea of just for a full week just delving into one company for their eyeshadow palettes. So let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna make sure to link down in the description down below Michelle's channel, so make sure you guys check out hers as well. The first week that she did was just Colourpop, and so if you're really interested in seeing different palettes from Colourpop, I would absolutely check out her channel too. So that is what I have for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down if you hated it. Either way, let me know what you guys are thinking of this series. And yeah, if you have not subscribed yet, well, now you know what to expect for some upcoming content. And if you like how it sounds, I think you should subscribe. I'm just tossing that one out there. And if you like the chaotic nature that is how my eyeshadow looks come together, subscribe. But that was today's video for Sunday, and we're kicking off this week with Pat McGrath, and yeah, you guys just go have a good one.